Hi guys and girls, welcome to Kentucky. This is the Budapest Speed Shop coming at you from Kentucky. Today I'm making space for a new vehicle, what I just got. It's a Mercedes, it's red, it's a two-door, but not a convertible. It has an L in front of its designation number. It's not a R207 or a an R107 or a W107 or not any of these Mercedeses. It's an L. It's an L1116. So that's the actual truck, a Mercedes truck. So in order to accommodate it, I'm gonna have to make some space here. First, I've moved the 57 Ford Fairlane. That was easy. And now we're gonna get to Betsy. Betsy is a 1956 Buick Special. It's a station wagon. I haven't been driven it for a long time, so we'll see if she starts. I put the battery in it, and rockabilly music just started in it, just pretty ghosty. Since it didn't start, I think I gotta put a little bit of fuel in the carburetor. Stop. Now that she warmed up a little, we can add a little gas. Some of you have asked me how does this flamethrower works, and it works very easily. I got two switches in it, one on and off, and then one is when the flame's coming out, and one and that's it. So basically the wire what goes from the coil to the distributor, it's been cut and run into that three-way switch. So you either connect these two together and then the engine runs, or you disconnect it, the engine will wind down, but at the same time the information cable from the distributor will come to the back, and it's connected to two coils individually in the back exhaust system. So I just rev up the engine. I actually turn on the system first. So I rev up the engine, and then when I flip that switch, the engine just start basically winding down, and unburned fuel will come down on the exhaust system, which I need to heat up by driving the car a little bit. And then the spark information from the distributor will come to the back to two of the coils what's located in the back for this flamethrower system. And then they start putting out spark, and then the unburned fuel will show up from the engine, and hence here comes a little fire out in the exhaust system. So you can see there are the spark plugs in the back, and then my doggy just showed up to show me some love, and now she's leaving. So anyhow, here are the one of the spark plugs in the back, and I don't know how much can I show you inside, but it's there. And then I have one on the other side as well. So I got two individual systems with two spark plugs, which they will catch the unburned fuel air mixture what's coming out on the exhaust, and then catching it on fire. So there's no added gas or no added fuel or nothing like that. It's basically two coils, two spark plugs, and basically one three-way switch and one on and off switch, and a couple of feet of wire. Basically, that's what it took to make this happen. Today is a perfect day to go. It's not hot, not humid, rain is not falling. Perfect day to go get that Mercedes. So, but before we leave, we're gonna get ready for the procedure. I got a box worth of manuals from my friend Tom, and yeah, here are all original Mercedes shop manuals. And I was trying to figure out what kind of oil does this truck needs, and what kind of oil filter does that truck needs, and what to do with it if it was sitting for a long time, because it hasn't been running for at least for a year or more. Very surprisingly, the most information came out from this little book. It says medium-duty semi-forward control vehicles with OM 352 and 352A engines. I already know about one problem with the vehicle, which most of these vehicles develop after a while, is that you cannot shut the engine off. And I don't know why. So I haven't really seen the truck only once when I went to look at it. So we'll try to address that problem. But starting and shutting down the engine. So here's a knob. I've seen that knob. It's on the middle of the dash, and it says idle, speed control, and engine shutdown knob. So most likely this knob is not working. However, there's a cut hole on the side, like I've seen it on most of these trucks, where you can push in a long screwdriver and pull the lever what this knob's supposed to move, and that should shut the whole engine off. So we'll try to find out like what's up with this knob, and does it work. There is a cold start fluid applicator in it, but it says below minus 16 Celsius or below 3 degrees Fahrenheit, so we really shouldn't need that today. So since the truck was sitting for a long time, I really want to, before starting the engine, just change the oil in it to protect the engine from further damage if there is any problem in there department. So here's the oil chart. It shows that like right now we are up in this range, so it says straight 30 or 2020. So I'm just gonna put in the straight 30. I usually use this Rotella because this has all the good stuff in it, because since it was made for off-road use, they didn't leave anything out of it. So I'm just gonna put this straight 30 oil in it. My other question in my head was the battery, but my friend Tom told me that it's on a trickle charger inside the building, so that sounds pretty good to me. Since we changed the oil, we're gonna change the oil filter. So here's the oil filter change page. So here's the drain plug. Looks like it's a regular bolt, and then there is a drain plug for the oil filter housing because it's in a housing, and then there's the long bolt with number 7, you can see. So once we release that number 2 bolt, we're gonna drain the whole thing, and then we're gonna take it off. And once we took it off, we can pull the canister out and then change it to what I got with the truck. And the MON filter is H13102, if you don't see it, or there is a Mercedes number on it. It says 001-1847125. The other thing I've seen in one of these manuals is that when a truck comes out from a long storage, or if there was some work done on the fuel pump, I'm gonna have to bleed it. So there is a little screw on the side, on the top, where it can open up, and mechanically I can push down on the pump itself. There's a little plunger, and then once the air came out of it, then I close it, and then it's all ready to use. All right, so time to gather some tools, put everything in the truck, and almost ready to go. The truck is actually a real farm truck now. It lives at my friend's place. Kentucky roads are beautiful. That's why I moved here. It's all these roads were made for my little cars, like my Austin Hilly or my Fiat Spider. I just love it here. So we're heading out to the farm, and then we check it out. What can we do with it? And hopefully we're gonna be able to drive it back. So we finally arrived, and here's this beauty waiting for me to change oil in it, and oil filter. If you look inside from this side, you can see it's got new seats. The interior we're gonna need some work for sure, but that's okay. And then on the side you can see that they were trying to, since this one is not removable like in American vans or the later versions, they tried to cut holes in it, which I need to fix. And then over here they actually cut the right hole, and then you can push a screwdriver through and pull the gas lever, and then that's how you can shut the thing off, since this thing doesn't work. But I'll fix that so you can actually use it properly. But first let's go open the hood and start changing the oil filter and the oil in it. Oops, down. Yep, that's it. Oh, get back. Ah. Here's the prop. It's actually really securely there, and a bunch of hornets. Looks pretty simple for now. So we're just gonna get the drain plug out, drain plug off of the filter housing, and take this one. So first I'm just gonna work on the filter. Yeah, the hornets are a little bit mean. They're protecting their territory, so I closed the hood to make them calm down. And then my friend Tom just went into town to buy some spray for them, and then we're gonna evict the the hornets. But meanwhile I hope they're gonna calm down and I can start working on the bottom on it. This truck has a slightly different face than the European versions due to the light, because the seal beam is required here in the US, so that's why you don't have a nice round glass on it, but it has the American version. Well, I couldn't just sit on my hands until my friend Tom comes back, so I just started to drain the oil filter housing. Looks like the hornets calmed down a little bit and they are hanging out inside and they don't bother me anymore, so I'll start working on it. So I'm gonna wait until it drains, and then we're gonna get the filter housing off. Fortunately the hornets calmed down and I was able to get the filter housing off with the filter in it. So I put the drain plug back in, and then with the other main bolt I took the whole thing off. You can see this one had an original filter as well, which I'm really happy with. And here's the number, man filter H13102. Well, it's made in Spain. And then yeah, the Mercedes number is right there in case anybody needs it. And you can see that the top part is the one exposed. If I would show it to you, excuse me. So if the top part is exposed, then the bottom one will have the protected or closed filter. So, well, that's very interesting because this is the other way. Well, I don't know now. So anyhow, I better don't touch it, just leave it the way it is. And this will go up on the top, and we just change it. Oh yeah, and then the filter housing has a gasket what came with it. This gasket lives inside the casting what bolted on the engine block. So at first I have to dig this one out, what's on it right now, and then put this one back on, and then we can put this up. It's basically goes to this part here. Well, I simply don't understand. So this ring is too small for this to seal, and there is no seal inside the truck. So I just don't know how that's supposed to work. You can see there's no seal there or anything, so I just don't know. I found it that O-ring goes around this and the outside, and that's where it sits. So that's good. I got the filter housing up, and I just loosened the drain plug. It was very nicely tightened, not too tight, not too loose. So now I'm gonna able to let the old oil down. maybe I have to stop halfway through to empty the bucket, but yeah, we'll keep on going with it. This is the first batch. I had to put the plug back in because it was getting full, so I'm gonna empty that and try it again. It all looked very nice in it, but I wanted to make sure that it's good before. It's a lot easier to change oil than bearings in it. Well, the second batch came out and it's almost halfway full. Usually I put some new oil on top of it and then let it drain out as well, but because all these hornets now, I'm not gonna do that, so I'm just gonna put the plug back in, and then we're gonna evict the the hornets and then put the oil back in, the new oil back in. Okay. Go. I think I got them. Poor things. The fill plug is right over there, so it's not going to interfere with these hornets dying here. While they were dying, a latecomer has arrived, and he was inquiring about the rest of the family. Then it attacked me, and then I kind of got scared, and I poured the oil a little bit, so it went on the belts. I'm not too proud of it, but it happened. So now I got 3 gallons in. So in order to reach that dipstick, I'm gonna have to stand on the bumper. In order to stand on it, I'm gonna have to evict these guys permanently. It's like very clean oil. I guess we're done with the oil change. Next thing to do is to pump up the plunger and bleed the system. So you can see the bleed screw is over here, plunger is over there. I don't know if you can see it, what I was trying to show you. I was trying to pump it up, and then the pump is leaking a little bit, so I'm gonna have to find another one, but that's usually a common thing to replace, and all diesel Mercedeses will end up leaking there for sure. Check the connections. Hang on. So we put the battery in. Now we're gonna try to crank it to get the oil pressure up, and then we're gonna try to start it. Yeah. You gotta push the clutch maybe?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think probably the batteries.
Yeah, I think we need to find a voltmeter and check it, because it just doesn't do anything. So I got back here, I tried to pull this plug down, and then the actual switch is working. I don't think there is any 12 volts here, so gotta figure out why there is no 12 volts. Well, there is everything, we just need to figure out which one is which. Looking at the diagram, there is the push button, and then here's the starter. There's a distribution box, whatever it's called, and I believe that's the sort of the ignition switch. There's no ignition because it's a diesel vehicle, so most likely this one is not getting the positive from this fuse, so we'll have to investigate when I get home. But if I give positive to the switch, then it should start cranking, so we'll try that. So figured it out. The problem is that this wire does not get any positive. The other wire is for the starter switch actuator, but this wire doesn't get any positive, therefore half of the dash is not working. So what I did, I just tapped into here, got a short wire. I will attach it to here and then feed the power back into it, hoping that that will fix it. So then the starter will have a positive to work with, and the rest of the dash will lit up, and everything's gonna work. So everything works on the dash now, and then this one has 12 volts in it, so we're just gonna plug it back onto the starter switch and try to crank it up. Okay, let's try it. Haha.
Haha.
Okay. Let's push it until we got fuel oil pressure. Yeah, just
Yeah.
no oil pressure. Well, hopefully it will come up soon. Everyone gets to surprised that it started right up. I guess it likes me. So oil pressure finally came up, so now we just gotta charge the air supply and then we're good to go. I still need to put in more coolant because it's it's just not full, so I don't want to risk it. So let's head to O'Reilly's and get some coolant for it. You can come closer. There you go. I made it home. Wasn't easy. First I had to fight with a hornet or a wasp inside. It just started to fly around and almost attack me. Second problem was, well, the first problem was when I started it, the gas pedal sticks. And when it's stuck, the engine roared and started up real fast. So yeah, that's not a good thing. So sometimes I press on the gas pedal and it sticks. So I got to work it out how it's not gonna do that anymore. And then next problem is how am I gonna shut it off? And the brake was sticking. So when I was driving it, I had to keep pushing on it, and finally it's unstuck. So it's got an air-operated juice brake. Very strange. It was, I think it was a Horsch's did that in pre-World War II. So finally it started working, and I think the front brakes are over-adjusted, or I don't know. Maybe that master cylinder doesn't release all the way. So I got to address that. And then next thing is it's just extremely hot inside the cabin. There is a hole cut on the side. I guess they were trying to figure out how to do this, and there is a hole cut on this side, and it's right next to the turbocharger, right behind the turbocharger. So the air is coming in like crazy, like a hot air is blowing in. So I'm gonna have to address that, but before that I'm gonna have to make sure that that gas pedal will not stick. So surprisingly it tracked surprisingly straight, so it drives very nicely and doesn't have too much of a power. So I think I may have to change the fuel filters in it before I expect any more of a performance from this poor truck, because it was sitting for a long time. And then I think before I make it to a record truck, because the ultimate goal is that I can put the Ford Fairlane on it, or any of my Mercedes Benzes, or the Mercury, or this thing. So before I can do that, I'm gonna have to make it to a workable truck. So that's the priority first. So we'll start working on it and see what happens. As soon as we got it home last night, haven't even shut the engine off. We started to move boards from here. There was a whole bunch of leftover wood here. We put it on the back and moved it to another barn. So that was challenging, but it made for work. So that was pretty cool. Another interesting fact that this engine did not use glow plugs. So the manual says if it's below 16 degree, minus 16 Celsius or 3 Fahrenheit, then you could use the cold start procedure, which involves a cold start fluid, which I really don't like to use. But anyhow, the truck really nicely came home, and then we're gonna start repairing it very soon. First, I think gonna change the fuel filters, and hopefully it will give a little power back to it. Well, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.